What up, world? It's Professor Ness, here to spark your brain. In today's video, we're going to be talking about mental health, more specifically, men's and managing their emotions. Let's get right to it.
It easily messaged somebody and reached out and been like, not feeling good, you know, just suffering. No way. No way. So next time you're feeling weak and low and you want to tell somebody, you want to express your emotions and whatnot, I promise you, just let that shit burn on the inside. Because as soon as you do, people will think you're weak, so just let it burn on the inside.
I kind of disagree with that. I feel like a lot of times we let too much things burn on the inside, we end up exploding. We might have an outburst, and it might leak out a little bit more than what it should have been if we could just possibly found an outlet. Maybe we go to the gym, work out, or start doing some journaling, read some books. Finding an outlet in order to release some of that tension that's built up inside. Having someone that you can trust to talk to, friend maybe, but sometimes it's not good to hold and bottle that stuff on the inside. How do y'all feel? Let me know.
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna look to the camera and say, guys, do not talk to your girlfriend about your emotions.
Why do guys say this? I feel like that's a lot of red pill talk, you know?
There's some things that men are supposed to be in women's eyes, and there's some things that are never supposed to see. And your woman's not supposed to see you cry. I don't care if your family passed away, you're not supposed to cry. And it's not because you're not emotional. You come and cry to me, come and cry to your boy, come and cry to your sister. You do not cry to your woman. Women, it's not their fault. They just like hypergamous inside their body. It's not their fault.
There's studies that have confirmed this too. Women lose respect for men after they see them cry.
I kind of understand where they're coming from, but if you lose a family member, a friend, a close one, it should be okay for you to shed a few tears. I mean, you just lost somebody that you had an emotional attachment to. I kind of disagree. If a woman decides that not okay to cry when you lose a loved one and they lose respect for you, maybe she wasn't the woman for you. All right, let's keep it moving.
Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night.
Emotions are feedback. The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional. Rage, pure rage. It's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize that and how you process it, right? It's having, stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard?
That's absolutely correct, man. You feel an emotion, that's feedback. That's something that's letting you know, you notice something. You realize something, and your body will trigger that emotion. And so it's okay to feel it. It's just not okay to dwell on it for too long and let it overwhelm you or those around you. So, of course, men feel a higher range of emotions. And so when it's come to expressing it, they're not careful on how they let that out. It could come off wrong. It may come off, misunderstood. And so it's very important for us as men to be able to know how to manage our emotions and, take some time to think about it for a little while and how to proceed moving forward in a positive way.
I put all of my importance on her. And my friends, they expressed that to me. They said, yo, yeah, you're spending a lot of time with her, man. Like, what about us? Like, we were there for you before she ever existed. And I was like, oh, guys, but I'm in love.
A lot of times when we get in relationships, especially early on in young relationships, we want to spend a lot of time with that person and separate ourselves from our friends that we had before. And a lot of times when we put too much time in the relationship, we tend to lose value. And separating ourselves from our friends is not always a good idea. A lot of times we need to keep our friends, just in case when some things do go bad, we're not so far separated from our friends. And we want to keep our friends throughout the relationship as well, just to have some time away from our loved one.
I don't think people realize the shit that men go through. And I'm talking about men. The amount of times that I've seen a man go through pain, heartbreak, betrayal, yet they're expected to keep all those emotions inside. And it's like frowned upon if they express any of that, as if emotions are like this thing that only has to happen to females. Females complain about why men are so closed off and why they can't be vulnerable. I think we need to normalize expressing emotions, being sad, crying. That's okay. We're preventing emotional blockages. And it's also, I feel like, part of a female's job to let that man feel safe. It's not just their job to make you feel safe. It's a two-way street. I truly value vulnerability, and men, they go through a lot. I'm not saying females don't. I'm just saying men also go through a lot, and it's hugely neglected.
I feel like she's absolutely right. She maybe have a father figure or a brother in her life that she got to, visualize this experience, because like she said, it's a lot of things that men go through they're afraid to speak on because they're afraid of the backlash. And society today, men are supposed to be strong, men are not supposed to cry, and so they bottle things in. They don't get an outlet like women do. And so I think it's very important for men to have women like these in their lives who's going to listen to them, and again, man, you got to learn how to express yourselves in a healthy way, not to, make things worse than they already are.
Mental health, and it's the biggest killer for men between like 21 and 45, and no one talks about it. No one even mentions it, lad. Men just kill themselves and no one cares. We need to change it. Women talk to each other. There's no stigma on women. They sit around and have a cup of tea and have a jangle. I'd much rather my friend come to me and speak to me and cry on my shoulder than me have to cry when I'm carrying his coffin a week later.
It says exactly right. A lot of young men don't have anyone to speak to. They have no one to trust to go to and let them know what's going on with them. And so they end up, committing suicide. And so I think it's very important for men to create a group of other men, that like-minded individuals that can, be an outlet to reach out to and call and speak to and let them know what's going on, because sometimes we all we got.
You would be attracted to an emotional man?
Yeah.
A guy who cries all the time?
Not all the time, but that's not what being emotional is, or having emotion.
So how do men properly express emotions then?
Be honest with what they're feeling and not try to stuff it or push it off or deny it or ignore it. It's just being honest about how you're feeling, yeah.
Again, certain women that are going to appreciate that you're being vulnerable enough to speak up and let them know what's going on. Again, as long as you're not overwhelming them, you're not overbearing with your emotions, I feel like it's safe to have someone who's going to be understanding and listen to you while you go through what you're going through. And so, I like how her approach. It's not all about crying. It's sometimes just about having feelings.
I just think the way in society men are brought up, their emotions are not prioritized. So I think they don't really have the option to mature fully emotionally, because we always push them down to be a man and don't show emotions and don't cry and stuff. So I think a lot of men aren't developed emotionally.
What it has to do is just a lot of introspecting. I don't think a lot of guys take a lot of time to kind of just think for themselves and kind of internalize what how they're feeling and whatever. I know a lot of them will either go to sex, relationships, drugs, or alcohol instead of confronting their thoughts, right? In general, in life, people either are the victim to what's going on in their life, or they could choose to just be the one that overcomes it, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. As we grow up, they say be a man, be a boy. You shouldn't be, crying, suck it up. So we bottle it in. So we condition this way from our youth to not express our emotions. And so we go into adulthood with that same mentality. And so women are expecting men to open up, but it's very difficult for them to do so because of how they've been conditioned since their childhood.
You just have to show up.
fucking showed up for you. I showed up. I was getting there for you. And look where it got me. So this is my fault then? I showed up for you. This is my fault. I showed up for you. It doesn't scare me.
Y'all booty head ass niggas be too motherfucking sensitive. And we don't like sensitive ass niggas. How you offended by every motherfucking thing? You always mad, face always snarled the fuck up. You and your emotions, you mad cause you wanna ask motherfucking questions that we don't wanna motherfucking answer. What your booty head at? Don't nobody gotta answer your fucking questions. And Inspector Gadget. I was about to call you something else, but that's the only thing I fucking think of. But still, women don't like emotional ass niggas always in their feelings. Be aggressive. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. That's what we want. Well, that's what I want. Bitch, chop me up. Bitch, kill me and don't cry at my funeral. I don't need no emotional nothing. No nothing. Don't even love me. Okay, you can love me. You can do all that, but whatever you do, don't shoot the motherfucking messenger.
Now, see, these are the type of women you got to try to avoid because they want you to be balled up and be aggressive and show your negative emotion in a way where, as far as being sensitive, they find that as weakness. If you being sensitive, they find that as weakness. They want you to be aggressively emotional. That's also being emotional as well. When you're putting your hands on someone aggressively, you know, that tends to be a negative emotion that would drive them to react that way. So I would not take advice from this woman. Just try to stay away from women that want you to be aggressive with them and not show any soft side. Don't do it.
The number one reason why you are attracted to emotionally unavailable men. And so, just in case you're not clear on what that is, that means you date a guy who is not really able to express his feelings. When you go to talk about feelings, that's the last conversation that he wants to have. When you're upset with him, you will explain yourself numerous ways in the hopes that he understands you, but you often walk away from that conversation feeling misunderstood and not even heard whatsoever. Thus feeling like this dude doesn't get you, but you really care for him, right? You really love him and you want it to work. This guy is emotionally unavailable. He does not know how to meet your intimacy and relationship needs. But here's the catch. You pour into him so much. You tell him, you show him, you express it verbally and non-verbally by explaining and showing to him how much you love and care about him. In the hopes that maybe if he sees it from you, that he will return the favor. Sis, he doesn't have it in him. The only time that you're going to see that from him is when you walk away. And unless you really get to that point, you won't see it. He'll show you a glimpse of it here and there, but he does not have the ability nor the capacity to express himself in the way that you want. You will forever be disappointed because this is an emotionally unavailable man. You gotta find you a man that is emotionally available and stop dating the ones that you're dating.
Hey, I totally agree. See, they want you to be tough. They want you to bottle things up. They want you to not show your feelings. But then when you get into that relationship, women are going to express their feelings to you. And so you should be able to reciprocate and receive those feelings and be able to understand how she feels and be able to adapt and adjust to, you know, give her some comfort. But for you, you want the same thing, right? You expect the same thing, but you have these women that don't want you to be emotional. They don't want you to express how you feel. And so it's kind of difficult for a man to understand or realize exactly what it is a woman wants. So I always tell men, you have to find the woman that's for you. The woman that's for you. Not all women are the same. Some women don't want you to be emotional and some women are okay with it. You don't want to overwhelm your woman with your emotions, but you want to be able to let her know how you feel in a calm, cool, collected manner after you done thought about it for a little while. You want your approach to not be so negative. You want it to be a healthy environment where you can be able to display and talk about how you feel. And your woman should be receptive to that and be able to adjust and help you in figuring these things out and proceeding to improving your mind state. All right. And so there you have it, guys. Professor Ness, sparking your brain again. This was about emotions. Leave me a like, a comment. Thank somebody that can benefit from this. Tap them in. We're going to keep the content coming. Professor Ness signing out. Until next time.